Hey, so I just finished reading this book here. Uh, it's the seventh book of Siege of Terra, Warhawk. It's six or seven. It's pretty deep into it. It's about the invasion of Terra, well, Earth, but Warhammer, and all the Space Marines are fighting each other, and it's pretty good. This book was so much fun from the first page to the last page. It is. You don't learn a lot, honestly. You don't learn much, but it is so entertaining. It's totally worth it. It's like $18. I think with tax, it's like maybe 20, less than 21. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's so entertaining. It's about the White Scars fighting the Death Guard for a good chunk of it. So much happens in this book. It's trying to explain everything that's going on in this. It's like the biggest war ever. It takes place in this 100-mile city, and there's just millions and millions of soldiers, and there's like millions and millions of characters, and they're all doing different things, and they all have different ideas and motives. There's like criminals and priestess and the royal guard, and you got the ground forces, the air force. There's so much going on. You got like the communication guys, the radio guys, the medics. This book has everything. So I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to explain everything that happens in the book because it'd be a lot less fun in this video. It took me like 10 hours to read it, and I did skip some parts because one, I'm not a White Scar expert, so I skipped that, and two, all the tank battles. I'm really not a tank battle guy. There was like 3 chapters dedicated to tank battles, and I'm just not a tank battle guy. I know you guys like Lehman Russes and your Bane Blades and all that good jazz, but I love Lehman Russ fights. I just don't like reading it. So yeah, the highlight of the book was definitely these two guys fighting. The Emperor's sons, the Primarchs. You know, Jagged Eye was, he's been planning this fight for months, and the whole time he's fighting, he just like jokes around, and he hops back and forth like Bruce Lee, and he's just having a good time. Mortarion here is just so angry, and he takes the fight so seriously. And what I learned is he's just filled with shame. I think most of the traitors are actually filled with shame and regret. But because they're Space Marines, they're really good at, burying their emotions and not showing it. The more I read the book, the more I felt bad about Mortarion. You can tell that he really, he made the decision to let the demons take over, and you can tell that he's having second thoughts about it. He uses the powers very well, but you can tell he isn't like fond of them. But yeah, it's the White Scars focus. They put all their points in the speed, and it really shows. They were able to blitz like everything, and it was great. It's funny, the first 5 books were extremely tactical, and this book here was just a straight up fight. And it's like a 26 chapter book. The first 2 chapters are like talking and like recruitment, and I think it's not until like the 4th chapter the fighting starts, and it's literally the 4th chapter all the way to the cover. It's just fighting, and it's great. So yeah, it's the White Scars and the Death Guard. The World Eaters are in it. The Imperial Fists are in it, but not really. It's mostly the Black Templars. And this is during the invasion of Terra. So this is actually the origins of the Black Templars. The Black Angels, or the Dark Angels. The Dark Angels are in it a little bit. What is it? The Word Bearers. The Word Bearers are in it a little bit. They don't have their time to shine, but they're here. The Night Lords are here. Basically, everyone's here. You know, you got the Imperial Guard. You got everything really. And because this is 7 books into the series, the demons are starting to show up, and you got demons everywhere, and the Imperial Guard is freaking out, but they keep on shooting because that's what they're told to do, and it's great. You get to learn about all these like secret tunnels in the city, and all this like defensive bunkers, and all this stuff Rogal Dorn set up, because he knew he would lose. It's like 7 legions versus 3, and they weren't even complete legions. They're like half legions. So 3 half legions versus 7, complete legions. So he knew he'd lose, but seeing all the like these secret bunkers and mines and all these like setups, it's really cool. The book was it's really fun. I know I skipped maybe like 6 pages. I skipped the tank battles, the pilot fights, the air fights, like the Valkyries and all that. In the last book there was like time travel. In this book they got to the time where they wanted to be at, so there's no time travel in this one. Unless you count the Word Bearers. The Word Bearers actually might be time traveling, but I'm not sure. It's like hinted at that they might be time traveling. But yeah, it's just so entertaining. The Custodes do a lot in this. They get their time to shine. Jagged Eye literally like suplexes a dreadnought, which is awesome. And it wasn't even like a normal dreadnought. It was like a contemptor dreadnought, which are like twice as big as the normal ones. So he like suplexed a dreadnought that's like twice as big as like a normal one. And you see the sword in his hand? Yeah, he suplexed it one-handed. It was awesome. So yeah, if you're into that, this book is just start to finish. It's just a Space Marine fight with a little bit of guard here and there, and a little bit of civilians here and there. Oh, and you got the Grey Knights too. But the Grey Knights are in this, but they're before they got their official name. Before they got their official name, they're running around and doing stuff. They were Grey Knights before they were Grey Knights. So yeah, it's a great book. You can see the Death Guard are corrupted. It's interesting because I thought they were transformed during like the first book, but the more I read it, the more I think they didn't actually transform until this book. So all the times the Death Guard fought, they were actually like normal. It's not until like this book that they're actually transformed. So yeah, it's great. The World Eaters take out this fortress, and the Death Guard then take it over, because the World Eaters don't know how to use a fortress. They're too bloodlusty. And the Death Guard are sane for the most part, and they're totally okay with just sitting in one place, not moving. That's like their specialty. Their specialty is slow fighting, basically. So they took over this fortress, and the White Scars try to take it out. So yeah, it's a really good book. There's like hundreds of Bane blades just shooting at each other, and it's great. There's like lasers, and Imperial Guard gets their time to shine. The Imperial Guard is actually in this a lot more than I thought they'd be. So yeah, I can't really explain enough. It's fantastic. You know, it's like the end of the world. As far as I know, the Emperor's Palace is the only city that's left. Every other city has fallen to chaos, or really just explosions. Space Marines can take out cities pretty easily. So this is like the only city left, and it's awesome. There's just so much fighting, and you know, the World Eaters fighting the Templars was another highlight of the book. It's, you know, the Templars focus on two-hand fighting, or two-hand swords, and the World Eaters focus on axes. So it was big axe versus two-hand sword fights, and it was just it's hard to put into words how good this book is. And I would even recommend this book to like new people. I wouldn't recommend like book 5 or 4 because of the whole time travel stuff. But this book here, I'd actually recommend to new people, because you really don't need to be an expert in Warhammer to get entertained by this. It really is just, it's like 200 pages, it's like 300 pages of just pure shooting and knife fights, and it's great. So if you like 300 pages of shooting and, you know, knife fights and demons and, you know, all this other stuff going on, it's hard to put in words how good this book is. It's really, really good. I really enjoy this whole series. This whole series is great. So yeah, I really enjoy it. So I think that's it for this. If I keep talking about it, I'm going to keep on rambling. So yeah, I would say there's like 2 highlights in the book, which are the sword fights. For you, it might be something different. Yeah, I'm gonna stop talking because I'm just gonna keep on rambling. Highly recommend. 2 big thumbs up. Alright, that's the end of this one.